Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started.
The African sparrow weaver builds large communal nests in arid regions of southern Africa. These structures can house between 100 and 300 pairs, each with its own chamber. The nests are installed in trees or on poles and resemble shared apartment complexes. Weaver birds are native to sub-Saharan Africa, tropical Asia, and Australia. Their nests vary in shape and size depending on the species and available material. They are known for their architectural skill and social cooperation. Burj Al Babas is a real estate development located near Mudurnu in northwestern Turkey. The project began in the year 2014 with the construction of more than 700 European-style castles. It was promoted by Saroth Group and aimed at buyers from Gulf countries. Although several units were sold, the company declared bankruptcy in the year 2018. The economic crisis and the drop in oil prices affected the payment capacity of some clients. The complex was left unfinished, becoming a ghost city. The Angelita cenote, located in the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, presents an unusual natural formation. At approximately 89 feet of depth, there is a dense layer of hydrogen sulfide mixed with salt water. This mixture is heavier than the fresh water above, creating a visible separation. The phenomenon creates the illusion of an underground river within the cenote. Experienced divers have documented this effect in dives reaching up to approximately 131 feet. The cucuyo, known as a bioluminescent beetle of the genus Pyrophorus, inhabits mainly tropical regions of the continent. Its light is continuous and comes from organs located in the head and abdomen. Unlike fireflies, it does not emit flashes, but a steady glow. Bioluminescence serves defensive and communication functions. The largest waves in the world are recorded in Nazaré, Portugal. Some have reached up to approximately 85 feet in height. The Soberbo viewpoint is a popular spot to observe this phenomenon. The waves form due to the Nazaré underwater canyon, which channels the energy of the Atlantic. This canyon reaches up to approximately 16,400 feet in depth. The combination of ocean storms, intense winds, and tides amplifies their size. The result is giant waves that attract extreme surfers from all over the world. In Tenerife, Spain, a strong storm caused waves of up to approximately 19 feet that struck coastal buildings in areas such as Mesa del Mar. The waves swept away balconies and furniture, causing evacuations. The Canary Islands are located west of Morocco, in the Atlantic. Waves form due to wind brushing across the surface of the sea. As they approach the coast, the shallower depth pushes them upward. This increases their height and force until they break. The Janibekov effect, also called the intermediate axis theorem, was observed by Soviet cosmonaut Vladimir Janibekov in the year 1985 during a space mission. This phenomenon occurs when a rigid object with three distinct moments of inertia rotates around its intermediate axis, causing a sudden 180-degree flip in its orientation. Although it appears periodic, its frequency depends on the initial conditions of the rotation. The F-18 Hornet is a multi-role fighter aircraft of United States manufacture used by the Finnish Air Force since the 1990s. Finland conducts military exercises in which these aircraft take off and land on sections of civilian highways as part of its dispersion strategy. This practice seeks to maintain air operability in case conventional bases are rendered unusable during a conflict. A school of striped eel catfish moves along the seafloors of the Indian Ocean and the Western Pacific. Young fish of this species move in dense schools that often appear to roll over the substrate. This peculiar behavior allows the fish on the edge of the school to feed, while the rest take turns advancing. This cooperative system ensures that the entire group finds food as it moves. This airplane flies right in the terminator zone, where day and night meet. This band exists due to the spheroidal shape of the Earth and its constant rotation. In that region, the sun sits on the horizon and its light arrives tangentially. That is why there are no direct rays or immediate sunrise. The effect creates a prolonged twilight, visible from the air. The transition depends on the airplane's position and Earth's rotation. Macy Hope Lindley is known as the baby who was born twice. At 23 weeks of gestation, a tumor called a sacrococcygeal teratoma was detected. To save her, doctors partially removed her from the uterus and operated while she remained connected to the placenta. They then returned her so she could continue developing.
After several weeks, she was born again by cesarean section, in good health.
Pilots specialized in skywriting use airplanes to write messages in the sky. This technique requires precision and favorable atmospheric conditions, especially dry air, little wind, and clear skies. The smoke released by the aircraft forms letters visible from the ground, traced through coordinated maneuvers at high altitude. A special mixture of paraffin oil is used, which vaporizes upon contact with the hot engine exhaust. It is a rare practice in decline due to high operating costs, technical difficulty, and competition from digital media. Although it is still used for special events, aerial advertising, and celebrations, only a few pilots master this skill today. In Japan, there is an olfactory exhibition inside the Ottawa Aquarium, located in the city of Kobe. Since the year 2023, one of its attractions allows visitors to smell synthetic fragrances inspired by the scent of animal backsides. Visitors can approach portraits with openings designed for this experience. Among the animals represented are the tiger, the penguin, and the orangutan. The exhibit aims to spark curiosity about animal behavior. No real odors are used, only chemical recreations. In January of the year 2022, two men carried out a symbolic experiment to turn the Earth into a sandwich. Angel Sierra in Spain and Etienne Naure in New Zealand placed slices of bread at opposite points on the planet, known as antipodes. They used geolocation tools to verify that their locations matched correctly. Fat Albert is a C-130 Hercules aircraft operated by the Blue Angels, the aerobatic team of the United States Navy. For years, it performed demonstrations with rocket-assisted takeoff, known as the JATO system. These exhibitions were suspended in the year 2009 due to a lack of supplies. The artwork Super Duper Perspective by British artist Patrick Hughes uses a technique called reverse perspective, based on three-dimensional optical illusions. The parts that appear farthest away are actually the closest physically. This painting forces the viewer to move in order to perceive the full effect. Hughes is recognized for exploring visual perception in his work. Fredrik Kjærensen is a Norwegian designer who presented his collection at the graduation show of Central St. Martin's in London in the year 2019. His designs consisted of large inflatable structures made of natural rubber that enveloped the bodies of the models. During the runway show, the bubbles slowly deflated to transform into garments. The air was regulated through internal valves without the need for additional oxygen or respiratory systems. The proposal was celebrated for its originality and visual symbolism. This is the art of metalworking with Chinese drawings on the back of a cell phone. The wires are bent and glued along the lines of the drawing and then filled with paint, possibly acrylic. Some species of ferns, such as those of the genus Pteridium, produce visible spores on the underside of their fronds. These spores are grouped in sporangia that, when dehydrated, can release their contents. If pressed firmly against the skin, the spores can transfer and leave a temporary mark. The spores are dry and fine, which facilitates their adhesion by contact. On some commercial flights of Qatar Airways, the transport of up to 80 falcons in the cabin has been documented. This practice is common in Middle Eastern countries, where falconry is an ancestral tradition. Falcons are birds of prey used for hunting, and their air transport requires special permits. In the United Arab Emirates, these birds can obtain an individual health document, informally known as a passport. This allows them to travel to countries such as Morocco, Oman, Pakistan, or Saudi Arabia. Although it is not a conventional passport, it serves similar functions. Tympanism is a digestive disorder that affects cows when gases accumulate in the rumen, the first compartment of their stomach. This accumulation can cause extreme bloating and cause the animal to lie on the ground. To relieve the pressure, there are two veterinary methods. One consists of inserting a tube through the mouth to the esophagus to release the gases. The other, more invasive, involves making a direct incision into the rumen. Treatment depends on the severity of the case. It is a serious condition that requires immediate attention.
Juice extractors separate the liquid from the pulp and fiber of fruits and vegetables. This makes it possible to obtain light, quickly absorbed beverages. However, by removing the fiber, benefits such as intestinal regulation and glucose control are lost. The juice retains vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, especially if it is cold-pressed. Even so, it does not offer the same nutritional complexity as the whole food. Consuming the whole fruit provides greater satiety and balance.
This is a very little-known place. It is the passage to a temple in India. Hindus ascend to this temple to perform the Abhisheka, which is a ritual that consists of bathing a sculpture of Shiva with cow's milk. The temple is located between three large rocks, and not only must one pass between them, but it is also necessary to climb quite dangerous stairs. The humanoid robot Unity H1 was developed in China by the company Unity Robotics and is known for its speed and mobility. In a test conducted in the year 2025, it showed abrupt movements while suspended, which raised concerns about its autonomous control. There is no evidence that it attacked intentionally. The situation was attributed to a technical failure. In the Shalmala River near the city of Sirsi in Karnataka, India, there are thousands of stone-carved Shivalingas. This site, known as Sahasralinga, is exposed during the dry season when the water level drops. The sculptures were commissioned by King Sadashivaraya more than 3 centuries ago as a religious offering. The lingam represents the creative energy of the god Shiva and has phallic symbolism within Hinduism. The place is considered sacred and attracts pilgrims every year. In Uruguay, towers of nests built by horneros, birds known as ovenbirds, can be found. These nests are built in pairs using mud, straw, roots, and branches, and once dry, they become very hard. Horneros are native to South America and inhabit regions from Argentina to Bolivia and Uruguay. After use, the nests are usually abandoned and sometimes occupied by other species. Magpies have demonstrated complex social behaviors in response to the death of a group member. Ethologist Mark Bekoff observed that they gather around the body, sometimes placing grasses near it in what appears to be a ritual. The group remains silent for a period of time, and then the birds disperse one by one. This behavior is a fascinating example of complex conduct and recognition of a significant social event. In the United States, strong winter storms have covered houses with snow, especially in regions such as New York, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. In some events, accumulations have exceeded approximately 24 inches. It is common for doors and windows to become blocked after these snowfalls. Authorities usually issue alerts for extreme conditions. Sofia Gomez Uribe is a Colombian freediver, recognized for her achievements in breath hold diving, a discipline that consists of submerging without breathing assistance. The modality focuses primarily on reaching depth, although distance events also exist. In this discipline, athletes must control breathing and heart rate. Sophia has broken several records in different categories. American artist Michael Murphy created a sculpture in honor of Stephanie Tubbs Jones, located in Cleveland, Ohio. The work uses suspended shapes that visually align to form our portrait from a specific point. Stephanie Tubbs Jones was the first African-American woman elected to Congress from the state of Ohio. She represented the 11th district until her death in the year 2008. This is a forensic approximation of the face of Maximilien Robespierre, a leader of the French Revolution. To reconstruct it, his death mask and historical medical records were used. The technique combines medicine, anthropology, and art. Robespierre died at 36 years of age and had visible smallpox scars. It has been suggested that he suffered from jaundice, which would explain the yellowish tone of his skin. Sarcoidosis has also been speculated due to observed skin lesions. Although not all diagnoses can be confirmed, the reconstruction is based on physical and documentary evidence. Milena Sidorova is a dancer and choreographer born in Ukraine and based in the Netherlands. She is known for her piece called The Spider, created when she was 13 years old. The choreography imitates the movements of a spider with great physical precision. The Coanda effect is a physical phenomenon that occurs when a fluid stream, such as air or vapor, adheres to a nearby surface instead of following a straight path. This behavior is due to the interaction between pressure, viscosity, and drag forces in the fluid's boundary layer. It was observed by engineer Henri Coanda in the year 1910 during aircraft testing. The Spanish Legion, an elite unit of the Army, participates every 12th of October in the National Day Parade. At these events, they are usually accompanied by a goat or ram, an emblematic mascot that symbolizes the unique spirit of the Corps. Although it is popularly called the Legion's goat, the animal has varied over the years. Monkeys, parrots, wild boars, and sheep, such as the famous Cuyo, have also paraded. Each summer on La Torta Hill, near Esquel, Argentina, a natural ice tunnel forms. It appears at about 6,234 feet of altitude and usually lasts around 1 month between January and February. The tunnel can reach up to approximately 328 feet in length. It melts from the inside outward, since the vault remains in the shade. Nudibranchs are shellless marine mollusks known for their varied shapes and intense colors. There are more than 3,000 described species, many with bright patterns that warn predators. They inhabit tropical waters as well as temperate regions on rocky, coral, or sandy bottoms. Their diet includes sponges, anemones, and other invertebrates. Some incorporate toxins from their prey as chemical defense. They possess external gills and sensory structures called rhinophores. Their diversity makes them ecological indicators and frequent subjects of underwater photography. Opening a bottle with fire is a real but risky method. Heat is applied just below the cork so that the air expands and pushes it outward. Although glass and cork have different expansion coefficients, the effect is due more to internal pressure than to the material itself. This trick has become popular on social media. However, if heated abruptly or unevenly, the bottle can explode. The Tateyama Kudobe alpine route in Japan is famous for its snow walls that form between April and June. These walls can reach up to approximately 59 feet in height due to intense snowfall in the region. The road becomes completely covered, and clearing crews use positioning systems to locate the original route. Snowplow trucks excavate precisely along the hidden roadway. The result is a snow corridor that attracts thousands of visitors every spring. This route connects the prefectures of Toyama and Nagano, crossing the northern Alps. Masahiko Kimura is a renowned Japanese master of the art of bonsai, famous for his innovative and sculptural compositions. His work challenges traditional forms, especially with Shimpaku junipers. Bonsai consists of cultivating trees or shrubs in miniature through techniques such as pruning, wiring, and repotting. These practices control growth and shape the specimen. The goal is to evoke natural landscapes on a reduced scale. Kimura has influenced generations of artists through his bold and technical approach.
The drink Gatorade was created in the year 1965 by researchers at the University of Florida. Its goal was to help players on the American football team, the Florida Gators, combat dehydration. The development was led by Dr. Robert Cade. The original formula contained water, mineral salts, and sugar. The name Gatorade comes directly from the team's nickname. Its effectiveness drew the attention of other sports teams, and over time, it became a global hydration brand.
Motoball, also known as motorcycle soccer, originated in France in the 1930s. The sport is practiced mainly in Russia, France, Germany, Belarus, and the Netherlands. Each team has 5 players, 4 on motorcycles and 1 goalkeeper on foot. The motorcycles used are low displacement, generally up to approximately 15.3 cubic inches. The goalkeeper is protected by an area where motorcycles cannot enter.
In Bangkok, Thailand, a unique attraction was inaugurated on the 75th floor of the King Power Mahanakhon skyscraper. This structure, approximately 1,030 feet tall, is one of the tallest buildings in the country. The open-air platform tilts at 65 degrees, simulating the sensation of floating over the city. It is the first of its kind in the world. Visitors wear harnesses and vital sensors to ensure safety. The experience is not suitable for people with vertigo or heart conditions. The James Webb Space Telescope was launched on the 25th of December in the year 2021 from French Guiana. Its primary mission is to observe the oldest events in the universe and the most distant objects, such as the first stars formed after the Big Bang. Thanks to its ability to detect infrared light, it can study regions hidden by cosmic dust. This telescope surpasses Hubble in range and sensitivity. It is located at the Lagrange Point 2, approximately 932,000 miles from Earth. Its design allows it to capture faint signals from primitive galaxies. Along the shores of Lake Michigan, United States, strange ice balls can naturally form. This phenomenon occurs when fragments of snow or soft ice are shaped by wind and waves. As they rotate repeatedly, they compact into spherical forms, similar to the erosion process of stones. The conditions of temperature and humidity must be very specific. On the coast of Portugal, there are cliffs used for extreme diving, such as those in Nazaré or Lagos. Jumps of approximately 79 feet have been performed in events such as Red Bull cliff diving. Portugal has hosted several editions of this international competition. Athletes train under controlled conditions to minimize risks. Silverback gorillas are meticulous when preparing their resting place. Each night, they build a new nest using leaves, branches, and grasses. They do this on the ground or in trees, depending on the environment.
This habit avoids parasites and improves safety. They do not reuse previous nests, which demonstrates their care. The process reflects a ritualized and complex behavior. It is a display of intelligence in wild primates. The phenomenon known as foxfire is a form of bioluminescence produced by certain fungi that grow on decaying wood, such as the species Panellus stypticus, Omphalotus olearius, and Armillaria mellia. The light is generated through a chemical reaction between the enzyme luciferin and the molecule luciferane in the presence of oxygen, producing light emission without heat. This greenish glow can be observed in humid and dark environments and has been documented for centuries. Fungal bioluminescence continues to be studied for its potential in biotechnology and ecological communication. In Spain, the oldest human fingerprint in the world was discovered. The finding took place at the San Lázaro rock shelter site in Segovia. The impression was left by a Neanderthal approximately 43,000 years ago. It is found on a granite pebble and was made with red ochre-based pigment. Analysis indicates that it belongs to the right index finger of a young male. The discovery reinforces the idea of abstract thinking in Neanderthals. In the Kuzbas region, also known as the Kuznetsk Basin in Siberia, Russia, the phenomenon of black snow has been documented. It occurs due to intense open-pit coal mining activity that releases dust into the environment. The suspended particles stain the snow as it falls, creating dark landscapes in the middle of winter. Cities such as Kiselyovsk have been particularly affected. Environmentalists have pointed out that it is more common to see black snow than white in this area. The phenomenon has raised concern over its health effects. The construction of Istanbul Airport, inaugurated in the year 2018, was a large-scale project. Nearly 10 billion euros were invested, and the use of a vast fleet of dump trucks was required. Thousands of these vehicles were used to move and level the land, a task crucial to the infrastructure. At the inauguration, a parade of around 1,500 trucks symbolized the magnitude of the work. This airport, located on the European side of the city, was designed for a capacity of 150 million passengers per year. The so-called sea angels are gastropod mollusks of the group Gymnosomata. They are transparent, pelagic, and move with undulating motions thanks to their parapodia that resemble wings. Although they have a shell in their embryonic stage, they lose it upon reaching adulthood. Some species, such as Cleone limacina, can measure up to approximately 2 inches. They inhabit polar waters as well as temperate and tropical regions. The zoetrope is a stroboscopic machine invented in the 19th century by William George Horner. It consists of a rotating drum with sequential images that create the illusion of motion. This device was one of the precursors of cinema. The technique is based on persistence of vision. This three-dimensional chess appears in the series Star Trek as a futuristic version of the classic game. The board is composed of main platforms and movable boards distributed across different levels. The pieces retain their traditional movements, but can move vertically if the destination is aligned and clear. The rules were developed by fans after its appearance on television. Although it seems complex, its logic is accessible with practice. The modern yo-yo has roots in the Philippines, where it was used as a toy and a hunting tool, and its name comes from Tagalog. However, similar representations exist on Greek vessels for more than 2,000 years ago, such as one from the year 440 before Christ that shows a young person playing with a disc suspended by a string. The design evolved over time until it became a popular toy worldwide. Today, there are professional yo-yo competitions in which performers execute complex tricks. When boiling water is thrown into the air at sub-zero temperatures, a surprising phenomenon occurs. The liquid disperses in fine droplets that cool rapidly. Under extreme conditions, such as -4 degrees Fahrenheit, the water can vaporize and freeze instantly. This creates a cloud of ice crystals visible in the air. The effect is known as the Mpemba phenomenon. NASA has captured images of shockwave flows generated by supersonic aircraft using Schlieren photography. This variant, called background-oriented Schlieren, allows visualization of changes in air density. The images show how sound compresses the air when exceeding the speed of sound. A store in China has implemented an innovative idea. Instead of only trying on clothes in front of a mirror, customers can use an electric treadmill. This allows them to see more clearly how the garments look in motion, offering a more realistic and useful perspective than a simple static view. Charles Spencer Chaplin was born in London in the year 1889 and grew up in poverty. His mother was institutionalized for mental health problems, and his father died young due to alcoholism. Chaplin married 4 times and had 11 children, including Geraldine and Michael.
In the year 1931, he was photographed alongside Albert Einstein at the premiere of City Lights. He died in Switzerland in the year 1977 at 88 years of age from a cerebral hemorrhage. In the year 1978, his grave was stolen by two criminals who attempted to demand a ransom. Recorded in El Salvador, this video shows a truck loaded with straw catching fire. Straw is highly flammable and can ignite with a minimal heat source. However, there is also the risk of spontaneous combustion. This phenomenon occurs when the material ferments, generating internal heat that can reach the ignition point. Similar cases have been documented in organic materials stored under humid conditions. When a flame is applied to compacted snow, it does not melt easily due to its high thermal capacity and the dispersion of heat. Instead of melting, it can sublimate, passing directly from solid to vapor. Water does not burn, since it is not combustible. The black substance that appears on the surface is not part of the snow, but residues from incomplete combustion of the flame. These residues include soot and other impurities that adhere to the ice. The bioweaver is a species native to South Asia, including India. These birds build hanging, retort-shaped nests made of plant fibers. They place them in tall trees, such as palms or thorn trees, and usually near water. This location helps protect the nests from terrestrial predators. Colonies can be dense and highly visible during the breeding season. Soap is a molecule with dual polarity. One part is polar and binds to water, while the other is nonpolar and adheres to fats and oils. This structure allows it to disperse substances that normally do not mix with water. For example, fat is nonpolar and does not dissolve in water, which is polar. Soap acts as an intermediary by surrounding grease particles and allowing them to be removed with water. Colugos, also called dermopterans, are arboreal mammals from Southeast Asia. They inhabit countries such as the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. They possess a membrane of skin that connects their limbs and tail, allowing them to glide between trees. Glides of up to approximately 394 feet have been documented. They are nocturnal and strictly arboreal. The Tungara frog, scientifically known as Angistomus pustulosus, is native to the Americas and is found from Mexico to Venezuela and Trinidad. Males emit courtship calls to attract females at night. These vocalizations can also attract predators. In London, England, there are automatic bollard systems that control access to bus-only lanes. These devices rise from the pavement to block the passage of unauthorized vehicles. The mechanism may appear abrupt, but it is designed to protect public transport priority. Its activation depends on sensors or authorization cards. Arc Nova is an inflatable concert hall designed by Japanese architect Arata Izozaki, together with Indian artist Anish Kapoor. The structure was created as a cultural response to the earthquake and tsunami that affected Japan in the year 2011. It was installed in cities such as Matsushima and Fukushima between the years 2013 and 2017. The hall is made of flexible material and can be easily dismantled and transported. Its design allows concerts and cultural activities to be held in affected areas. A shockwave in a tunnel can be observed using techniques such as Schlieren, which reveal air compression. This phenomenon occurs in supersonic wind tunnels and is associated with abrupt pressure changes. The white cloud that appears in some cases is due to vapor condensation caused by the shockwave, similar to what happens when an aircraft breaks the sound barrier. In London, licensed taxi drivers must pass an exam called the Knowledge. This process requires memorizing around 25,000 streets and key locations in the city. Candidates study for years to master routes within a radius of approximately 6 miles from Charing Cross. The assessments are oral and conducted without maps or GPS. Each test is known as an appearance and requires absolute precision. It is considered one of the most difficult exams in the world, and only the best prepared obtain an official license. The Burj Khalifa is located in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and reaches a height of approximately 2,722 feet, including its spire. During routine inspections, technicians access the top while facing strong winds as the main challenge. These tasks require specialized equipment and extreme training. To date, it remains the tallest building in the world. When a sheet of paper is burned on a sensitive scale, momentary negative readings can appear. This is due to hot air currents that rise rapidly. The movement of air alters the pressure on the scale sensor. As a result, the recorded weight can briefly decrease.
Makeup sponges, such as the well-known beauty blenders, are manufactured from a liquid formula that is poured into molds. Heat is then applied to expand the mixture, forming foam blocks. These blocks are cut, shaped, and smoothed using rollers or blades, and can be customized in texture, shape, and color according to each brand's specifications. If a commercial airplane could travel through space at approximately 560 miles per hour, journeys to other planets would be extremely long. Reaching Venus would take about 5.5 years, Mars about 10 years, Jupiter would require 80 years of continuous flight, Saturn more than 150 years, Uranus around 340 years, and Neptune more than 550 years. The Sótano de las Golondrinas is located in Aquismón, San Luis Potosí, Mexico. It is a sinkhole of karst origin with more than approximately 1,640 feet of depth. Its opening measures about 197 feet in diameter and widens toward the bottom. Although its name suggests swallows, the birds that inhabit it are swifts. These birds enter and exit in spectacular vertical flights. Its conical shape makes it one of the most impressive natural abysses in the world. The seven-colored mountain, known as Vinicunca, is located in the Peruvian Andes and owes its bands to the deposition of minerals such as iron oxides, clays, and carbonates. These colors are of geological origin and do not depend on light. Under specific conditions of humidity and sunlight, the Brocken specter can be observed, an optical illusion caused by the refraction of light in suspended water droplets. This phenomenon generates halos or shadows projected on clouds or fog. This is one of the closest images of the sun ever captured. It was recorded by a balloon-borne telescope. These float at about 24.9 miles in altitude. At those levels, disturbances created by the atmosphere and images are avoided, achieving results comparable to those obtained by satellites in orbit, but in a more economical way. Although they look like penguins, the video was recorded in Norway, where those birds do not live. It is most likely Atlantic puffins. These plump birds have black and white plumage and a colorful beak. They spend most of the year floating on the open sea. They only return to land during the breeding season. During that time, they form colonies on coastal cliffs. Norway is one of the places where they can be easily observed. The Dawn Mk2 Aurora is an experimental spaceplane designed by Dawn Aerospace, based in New Zealand and the Netherlands. During its test flights, it has exceeded the speed of sound, reaching Mach 1.1. It has also managed to climb to approximately 15.5 miles in altitude from the Glenorchy airfield. Although its performance is notable, it has not yet crossed the Kármán line or reached outer space. This line, defined by international convention, is located about 62 miles above sea level. The Torch Festival is celebrated among Yi communities in provinces such as Sichuan, Yunnan, and Guizhou. For 3 days, bonfires and torches are lit to ward off spirits and attract a good harvest. The date is determined according to the traditional Chinese calendar, which combines lunar and solar cycles. This system is different from the Gregorian calendar, which is based solely on the sun. The festival usually falls on the 24th day of the 6th lunar month. Quantum stealth is a material developed by the Canadian company Hyper Stealth Biotechnology. It is designed to conceal objects or people through optical manipulation. It is not a simple translucent sheet, but a compound that bends light. The effect is achieved from certain angles, making the object appear to disappear. It can also block visible, infrared, and thermal spectra. The Dark Hedges is a famous avenue of trees located in Antrim, Northern Ireland. They are common beeches known for their twisted and cinematic appearance. They were planted in the year 1775 to adorn the road leading to Gracehill House. Beeches are native to Europe, but species also exist in Asia and North America. This site has become popular for its mysterious atmosphere and is one of the most photographed places in Northern Ireland. A spacewalk is an extravehicular activity carried out by astronauts outside the International Space Station. These operations allow for installing equipment, repairing systems, or conducting scientific research. Astronauts wear pressurized suits that protect them from the vacuum and extreme temperatures. In May of the year 2025, a spacewalk was performed to install solar panels and adjust an antenna. These tasks require rigorous training and coordination from the ground. The station orbits at about 249 miles above sea level. The San Andreas Fault extends across the state of California in the United States and measures approximately 795 miles. It forms part of the boundary between the Pacific and North American plates. This geological system causes cities such as Los Angeles and San Francisco to move closer by approximately 1.6 inches per year.
Although it doesn't directly cross Baja California, it is tectonically connected to the movement affecting that region. The Baja California Peninsula is slowly moving northwest. Some estimates suggest that in about 50,000 years, it could separate completely from the continent. Electric arcs occur when current jumps between two separated conductive points. Their duration depends on the type of current, the voltage, and ambient humidity. Quickly separating the contacts can help extinguish the arc faster. However, cutting live cables with pliers while another person pulls them is extremely dangerous. This practice does not guarantee safety or control over the arc.
The first McDonald's in Moscow opened on January 31st in the year 1990 in Pushkin Square. Many people formed long lines to enter, symbolizing interest in the Western lifestyle. This event took place during the economic opening of the Soviet Union. The official dissolution of the country occurred in December of the year 1991. From that process emerged 15 independent nations. The line in front of the restaurant was seen as a reflection of social change.
In electrical fires, firefighters must exercise extreme caution when using water. A continuous stream can form a conductive path if the source remains energized, which poses a risk of electrocution. That is why mist or spray streams are used, as they reduce conductivity. The effectiveness of the method depends on the voltage, the type of current, and environmental humidity. It must always be confirmed that the area is de-energized before intervening. This long train runs in the United States and belongs to the railroad company BNSF. It is composed of 105 rail cars, several of them double-stacked for intermodal freight. It is pulled by 3 locomotives, a common configuration on long routes. The double-level cars allow stacked containers to be transported efficiently. The HAL exoskeleton was designed by the Japanese engineer Yoshiyuki Sankai at the University of Tsukuba and developed by the company Cyberdyne. This device uses bioelectrical sensors that detect nerve signals sent by the brain to the muscles. Thanks to this technology, HAL can anticipate and amplify the user's movement. It is used in medical rehabilitation, assistance for people with reduced mobility, and physical support in work environments. Although its military use is not publicly documented, its potential is broad. It functions as an interface between neuromuscular intention and mechanical action. In Russia, a helicopter flies over a gray beach, possibly in the Black Sea region. It is common to see these aircraft in coastal areas. Pilots often orient themselves using visual references, such as coastlines, roads, and geographical features. These practices are useful in tactical or low-altitude flights.
Transcascadia is an enduro-style mountain bike race held in the Cascade Mountains region of the northwestern United States. The event takes place off-road and is known for its technical routes and wild landscapes. It is organized by a nonprofit entity that promotes sustainable access to trails. In addition to the competition, the organizers work on restoring forgotten paths. Their efforts benefit cyclists, hikers, and horseback riders alike. The race seeks to combine sport, conservation, and community.
Recorded in Los Angeles, this video shows a flash mob of electric scooters. Hundreds of young people travel through the streets on rented vehicles summoned through social media. These types of events, although spontaneous, are organized and can generate congestion or traffic risks. The term flash mob refers to brief, coordinated collective actions in public spaces. In this case, it is applied to the mass use of scooters as a form of urban expression. Local authorities have warned about their impact on safety. The Pontifical Swiss Guard was founded in the year 1506 and protects the Pope and the Holy See. It is composed exclusively of Swiss citizens, practicing Catholics, unmarried, and with military training. Although their uniform is Renaissance in style, they receive modern training. The number of members is around 135, making it the smallest professional army in the world. They are also instructed in the ceremonial use of the halberd and the sword. The Sea Shadow IX-529 was an experimental stealth ship built by Lockheed and the United States Navy in the year 1985. Its swath-type design included 2 submerged hulls that improved stability in rough waters. It was developed in secrecy until the year 1993 as part of research into stealth naval technology. It never entered active service nor fulfilled operational military functions. It was offered as a museum piece but was not accepted. In the year 2012, it was dismantled and sold as scrap.
The Psychopathological Art Museum of Ciempozuelos in Madrid exhibits works created by patients with psychiatric disorders. These pieces emerge from therapeutic and expressive processes, reflecting deep emotions and personal visions. Art functions as a tool for communication and psychological relief. Many works reveal aspects of the human unconscious. The sculpture Wave is located at the Meadows Museum in Dallas, Texas, United States. It was created by the Spanish architect and engineer Santiago Calatrava. It is his first large-scale sculptural work permanently installed in the country. The piece measures approximately 40 by 90 feet and is composed of 129 bronze bars. These move sequentially, generating an undulating effect that recalls the motion of waves. Arcadia is an art collective based in the United Kingdom, known for its immersive spectacle of electronic music and kinetic sculptures. Its most iconic installation is the Spider, a structure of approximately 55 short tons, built from recycled military parts. The show unfolds in 360 degrees, with fire, lights, and surround sound. Arcadia regularly participates in the Glastonbury Festival in England. In May of the year 2025, Greek athlete Nicholas Plitadas achieved an unprecedented feat in water sports. He performed the first double backflip on a foil board. The challenge took him more than 800 attempts and 6 months of training. It is considered a milestone in the evolution of foilboarding. The Japanese airline Skymark has surprised its passengers with unique gestures before takeoff. On some occasions, ground staff have drawn messages visible from the airplane windows. These farewell phrases and cartoons are placed on the runway. Passengers can see them while waiting for departure. The initiative seeks to provide a warmer and more personalized experience. In space, astronauts cannot burp the way they do on Earth. Microgravity prevents gases from separating from liquids and solids in the stomach. This means that when trying to burp, they may also expel food or liquid. This phenomenon is called a wet burp. It is a direct consequence of the lack of gravity. For this reason, astronauts must be careful with digestion. The human body reacts differently outside the planet. In Luxor, Egypt, public openings of sarcophagi with mummies more than 3,000 years old have been carried out. Some may come from nearby necropolises, such as the Valley of the Queens. Necropolises are ancient cemeteries used for royal and noble burials. Deception Island is located in the South Shetland Islands archipelago in Antarctica. It is the partially submerged caldera of an active volcano with records of recent eruptions. Its inner bay, called Port Foster, has geothermally warmed waters. Some tourists bathe there, taking advantage of the volcanic heat. The island is claimed by Argentina, Chile, and the United Kingdom, although it is governed under the Antarctic Treaty System. The Morlanz Tunnel is located in San Sebastian, in the province of Guipúzcoa, Spain, and was inaugurated in the year 2009. It has a length of approximately 0.52 miles and connects the neighborhoods of Ibaeta Antiguo and Amara Nuevo. It is exclusive for cyclists and is not open to pedestrians. The infrastructure was adapted from an old railway tunnel and remains closed at night for safety reasons. It is considered one of the most outstanding cycling tunnels in Europe. A giant industrial boiler was transported in Mexico from Querétaro to Tula, Hidalgo, in the year 2024. This type of device is used to generate high-pressure steam in large volumes. They are common in refineries and oil processing plants. The transport required special platforms due to its size and weight. More than 30 people participated in the logistical operation. At Marina Bay Sands in Singapore is the Rain Oculus, a hydraulic installation designed by Moshe Safdie. This whirlpool of approximately 66 feet in diameter channels rainwater to the lower levels of the complex. Its function is both aesthetic and practical, integrating art and sustainability. Urban scenes of New York in the year 1900 have been restored with color and sound in several audiovisual projects. They show straw boater hats with black ribbons, worn by men of different social classes. Their origin is associated with Venice, although their use spread throughout Europe and America from the late 19th century. The streets were still filled with horse-drawn carriages, which generated large amounts of manure. These droppings were initially collected to be sold as fertilizer. Over time, the accumulation became so great that farmers charged to remove them. This 3-player chess game is played on a hexagonal board with 96 squares. The pieces retain the movements of traditional chess adapted to the board design. The game tends to stagnate because 2 players can block each other. To prevent this, some variants propose that the first player to give check wins. This rule is not universal, but aims to maintain momentum. The purepecha ball game is a traditional game originating in Michoacan, Mexico, with more than 3,000 years of history. It is played with wooden sticks shaped like the letter L and a ball of approximately 6 inches. In some modern variants, the ball is set on fire as a solar symbol. The objective is to carry it to the opposite end of the field. The dimensions of the field can reach up to approximately 394 feet in length by 26 feet in width. Each team usually has 6 players. The rules and styles vary depending on the community that preserves it.
Domestic chickens retain the ability to fly short distances to escape or reach perches. They cannot sustain long or high flights due to their anatomy. Over centuries of domestication, they have developed heavier bodies and muscles less adapted for flight. This transformation responds to selection for meat or egg production. Although their flight is limited, it is still functional in certain contexts. Lighter breeds can fly better than industrial ones.
The Space Shuttle Endeavour flew 25 missions between the years 1992 and 2011. In the year 2012, it was transported on a display flight atop a shuttle carrier aircraft, a modified Boeing 747. This flight passed over Los Angeles before arriving at the California Science Center. The shuttle carrier aircraft were used to transport shuttles from landing sites to the Kennedy Space Center. The shuttles launched vertically attached to rockets and landed like airplanes. Endeavour is now a museum piece and a symbol of the shuttle era. Its legacy remains present in modern aerospace history.
Rip currents are channels of water that pull seaward and can appear as calm areas on the beach. They usually measure between approximately 16 and 98 feet in width and are responsible for numerous accidents. Many people try to swim directly toward the shore, which leads to exhaustion and the risk of drowning. The safest way to escape is to swim parallel to the coast until exiting the channel. Once out, it is possible to return to the beach without resistance. The old Rhinebeck Aerodrome is located in Red Hook, New York, and operates as a living museum dedicated to the history of aviation. Founded by Cole Palin in the mid-20th century, it houses more than 60 aircraft, both originals and replicas, presented in flying condition. Exhibitions take place on grass runways and include models from the pioneer era, the First World War, and the golden age of aviation. On weekends between June and October, public air shows are held that recreate historical scenes with costumes and narration. Recorded in Canada, this mountain bike descent is mesmerizing. The rider follows an extreme line among trees, rocks, and technical jumps. Canada is famous for its freeride trails, such as those in British Columbia. The speed and precision of the run make it an intense visual experience. The terrain demands skill and absolute control. It is a display of mountain biking at its highest expression. Tulip fields are a national symbol of the Netherlands, especially in regions such as Lisse and Aalsmeer. Tulips originated in Central Asia, but were cultivated in Anatolia and popularized by the Ottoman Empire. They arrived in Europe in the 16th century and spread in Holland thanks to the botanist Carolus Clusius. In the 17th century, they caused an unprecedented economic craze. Today, the Netherlands is the world's largest exporter of flowers. Tulips remain an essential part of its cultural identity. Extraweg is the pseudonym of the German designer Oliver Lotte, known for his three-dimensional digital animations. His works explore emotions such as discomfort, awe, or satisfaction through bodily distortions and surreal scenes. He uses human figures in repetitive or absurd situations that provoke visceral reactions. The project has gained notoriety for its provocative and technically refined style. Hamsters have expandable pouches in their cheeks called cheek pouches. These structures allow them to store food for later consumption. It is a useful strategy for surviving in environments with seasonal scarcity. The pouches can hold up to 30% of their body weight. Although domestic hamsters do not face extreme winters, they retain this instinctive behavior. They transport food to their burrows and hide it in safe corners. The Mozu Kofun Group is located in Sakai, Osaka, Japan. These are burial mounds built between the 3rd and 6th centuries after Christ. Originally, there were more than 100 structures, many in a keyhole shape. Today, less than half remain due to urban growth. These tombs were intended for the nobility and stand out for their size. The spider Argordes colobrinus, native to Australia, belongs to the family Theridiidae and is characterized by its elongated body that hangs from silk threads, simulating a trapped twig to deceive other wandering spiders that make up its main food source. It does not build its own webs, but instead settles in those of other species to take advantage of their structure and attract prey. Its venom does not pose a risk to humans. The Seven Stars is a luxury train that has operated on the island of Kyushu, Japan, since the year 2013. It is composed of 7 cars, 5 with suites, 1 restaurant car, and 1 lounge car. The rooms include a private bathroom with a shower. The train is pulled by a DF200 diesel locomotive. It offers routes of 2 or 4 days, with several stops at tourist locations. Prices vary depending on the itinerary, ranging from about $4,600 to more than $11,000 per person. Synchronized indoor skydiving is a discipline practiced in vertical wind tunnels. Athletes perform choreographed routines in the air, combining acrobatics and precision. Each movement must be perfectly coordinated among team members. Competitions are held internationally, such as the World Cup of Indoor Skydiving. Winning routines stand out for their creativity and technique. Judges evaluate difficulty, synchronization, and execution. In India, videos are circulating that show a high-voltage cable apparently submerged in fresh water. Although this type of water has low conductivity compared to salt water, it is still capable of transmitting current if there is an active source. The amount of water does not guarantee safety, and contact can be lethal if the cable is damaged or poorly insulated. Electricity propagates according to the conductivity of the medium, and rainwater or river water is not electrically neutral. The Sydney monorail was an elevated transport system that operated between the years 1988 and 2013. It ran a circuit of just over 1.86 miles, connecting areas such as Darling Harbour and the shopping district. The design allowed urban views from above, but its capacity was limited. It was dismantled for reasons of efficiency and urban planning. In many cities around the world, deep drainage systems do not always manage to evacuate heavy rainfall quickly enough. When hydraulic capacity is exceeded, water can accumulate in the streets and reach subway entrances, causing flooding. This has occurred in countries such as Japan, China, Mexico, the United States, and Germany. Although it does not happen in every country or with every rainfall, it is a common risk in dense urban areas with insufficient or saturated infrastructure.
Electrical soil moisture sensors are used in agriculture to measure the water content in the soil. They work through principles such as capacitance or electrical resistance and allow irrigation to be adjusted with precision. They are key tools in technified crops and precision agriculture systems. These sensors help optimize resources and improve agricultural yield.
The scythe is a manual tool used to cut grass since ancient times in Europe. Although its modern form appeared in the Iron Age, there is evidence of its use in the Neolithic more than 7,000 years ago. Today, it is still used in rural areas of Spain, Canada, and other countries for ecological or cultural reasons. In some events, competitions are organized between scythes and lawnmowers. These tests demonstrate the efficiency and technique of manual cutting compared to mechanization. The scythe requires skill, but offers precision and silence.
The ice caves of the Mendenhall Glacier are located in Alaska, United States, and formed due to seasonal melting within the glacial mass. Glaciers are permanent accumulations of ice created by the compaction of snow over time. They currently cover about 10% of the planet's continental surface. They are estimated to contain approximately 70% of the available fresh water on Earth. Most of the glacial volume is found in Antarctica, although Greenland holds the second largest concentration. The Namib rain frog is a species native to southern Africa, found in sandy areas of Namibia and South Africa. It measures up to approximately 1.8 inches and has fossorial habits, living underground most of the time. It only emerges after rainfall to feed on insects. Its body is rounded and it emits a high-pitched sound when threatened. Its adaptation to dry environments is remarkable. It is one of the most unusual frogs on the continent. The Basel Zoo in Switzerland conducts winter walks with king penguins whenever weather conditions are suitable. These walks occur when the temperature drops below 50 degrees Fahrenheit and there is no heavy rain. King penguins have dense plumage that allows them to tolerate higher temperatures, although they prefer cold environments. This activity is part of the zoo's educational programming. The walks allow visitors to observe the animal's natural behavior. American astronaut Peggy Whitson and Russian cosmonaut Sergei Treshev performed a yo-yo demonstration under microgravity conditions aboard the International Space Station as part of a NASA educational project about toys in space. The experiment, recorded during a mission in the year 2002, sought to show how rotating objects behave without the influence of Earth's gravity, using different types of yo-yos to observe their trajectories and stability.
The Oban Busway is a guided bus system located in Adelaide, Australia. It was inaugurated in the year 1986 as an alternative to rail transport. Buses travel on an exclusive concrete track equipped with side rails that guide the vehicle. Unlike a streetcar or train, the vehicles can leave the guideway and operate on conventional streets. The system allows urban congestion to be avoided and constant speeds to be maintained.
In the district of Lusco, in the Cusco region of Peru, a geological fault was activated, causing the landslide of Luto Hill. The crack reached a length of approximately 1.24 miles and destroyed more than 30 homes and a health center. The event occurred in the year 2023 and affected more than 60 families. In areas near Lake Victoria, such as Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, swarms of mosquitoes are collected during certain seasons. These insects, known as kunga, are captured with utensils such as frying pans or buckets when they form dense clouds. Once gathered, they are compacted into medallion shapes and cooked, usually on a griddle or fried. This traditional food is rich in protein and has been used as a survival resource. Although its preparation may seem unusual, it has nutritional and cultural value. The practice also helps control the proliferation of mosquitoes. Japanese artist Tatsuya Tanaka is known for his project Miniature Calendar, in which he creates miniature scenes inspired by everyday life. Some of his compositions evoke traditional Japanese spaces, such as ryokan. Tanaka uses common objects to represent these environments at a reduced scale. Each scene is carefully constructed to provoke surprise and recognition. The Croix Rousse Tunnel in Lyon, France, was inaugurated in December of the year 2013 as a multimodal gallery for pedestrians, cyclists, and buses. It has a length of approximately 1.09 miles and runs parallel to the original road tunnel. It is equipped with ambient lighting, visual projections, and sound to enhance the user experience. It is one of the most innovative tunnels in Europe for shared infrastructure. The Nash Point Lighthouse, located on the southern coast of Wales, features a foghorn used to warn vessels on days of low visibility. This device emits sound signals when the lighthouse light is not sufficient to warn of the proximity of the coast. Foghorns were common in maritime areas prone to dense fog. Before their use, large bells were employed as acoustic signals. Although it is now out of use, it remains an example of traditional maritime technology. San Donà di Piave in Italy hosts each May a national gathering of the Bersaglieri, a historic light infantry corps of the Italian army founded in the 19th century. This group is known for its marching speed and participation in multiple conflicts. During the events, members parade with their characteristic hats decorated with capercaillie feathers. The hat, called Vaida, is the distinctive symbol of the corps. The Digital Art Museum of the Mori Building is located in Tokyo, Japan, on the island of Odaiba. It was inaugurated in June of the year 2018 by the art collective TeamLab. It is considered the first permanent museum dedicated exclusively to digital art. The works are interactive and generated by computerized systems. Recorded in Texas, United States, what appears to be a large flame in the sky is actually just the light of the sunset passing through an opening between the clouds. The external tank of the Space Shuttle Endeavour was filled with liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen to feed the main engines. During ascent, it detached a few seconds after engine cutoff and re-entered the atmosphere. It was not reusable and disintegrated due to aerodynamic forces before reaching the ocean. Its length was approximately 154 feet. Unlike the solid rocket boosters, it was not recovered after flight. Its controlled destruction avoided risks to inhabited areas. In the Russian city of Perevouralsk, a case of green snow caused by industrial pollution was documented. The phenomenon occurred after a chemical spill at a nearby chromium factory. The snow took on an acidic green tone, generating environmental concern. The Faroe Islands are a self-governing archipelago of the Kingdom of Denmark, located between Iceland, Norway, and the United Kingdom. Of its 18 islands, 17 are inhabited. The Lofoten Islands in Norway have around 25,000 inhabitants and are known for Arctic cod fishing and mountaineering. Senja Island is the second largest in Norway, excluding the Svalbard archipelago. It is known for its rugged landscapes and troll folklore. American artist Michael Murphy is known for his perceptual sculptures that change depending on the viewing angle. His works are often suspended and reveal different images from different perspectives. English artist Tim Lewis is known for his kinetic sculptures that combine mechanics and organic forms. In an exhibition in the year 2012, he presented a work featuring a robotic bird reminiscent of a kiwi connected to a mechanical arm. The mbira is a traditional musical instrument originating in Zimbabwe, used by the Shona people for centuries. It belongs to the lamellophone family and is composed of metal keys mounted on a wooden resonance box. It is played with the thumbs and sometimes the index fingers, producing vibrating and melodic sounds.
Some wine bottle holders are designed to appear magical, although they function using real physical principles. Their simple structure and precise angle allow the weight of the bottle to be balanced. The center of gravity is calculated so that the bottle remains suspended without falling. These holders are usually made of wood, metal, or rigid rope.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.